Evening, everybody. Welcome back to SCUM. Welcome back to Primal Island. Give me just a second here. Got to make sure my filters and stuff are actually working, because they like to turn themselves off. So, anyways, yeah. So 0.95. Decided to. I wasn't going to play Calindra at all this release. I was just going to concentrate on my main character and be good with it. But settings have been rough. Things have been tough, and there's been a bunch of users that have been a bit frustrated, and understandably so. I get it. So I thought, you know what? I'm going to pull Calindra out of the mothballs, bring her onto the island, fresh start, completely re-roll, and get a sense of what it's like, because I did not re-roll my main this time. So get a sense of what it's like on a fresh character. And maybe, hopefully, possibly impart a little wisdom to people that are newer to the game. That said, I am by no means a good gamer. I am by no means a scum expert. I play the game for fun. And I am not the most coordinated guy in the world. So, yeah, you're not going to see some incredible gameplay. But you should see real gameplay, and you know, if you want to see really impressive players, you know, I've been watching a lot of Pelfy 205 lately, and the guy is absolutely amazing with his situational awareness and all that. I mean, he's incredible. So yeah, if you want to see a truly great player, head over to his channel. Highly recommend it. But that all said, we're gonna drop in here and get started. So what I did is, this is a kind of a no-thought start, like a lot of new players might do, right? So defaults on Strength, Constitution, Dex, and Intelligence, right? Just left them at 3.0. I created our normal Calindra, obviously. So for the skills, I basically just did... I based it on what I hate to level. So I hate leveling Brawling, so all 3 to that. I hate leveling Thievery, so all 3 to that. I hate leveling Medical, so all 3 to that. So we're actually starting out with no Stealth, which is not something I recommend with 0.95. Stealth is very important. So breaking my own kind of rule there. right? I would say start out if you can with medium stealth, especially if you're a new player. Um, Awareness on a server like ours, where the loot is ultra low, awareness is very important. Um, I never put points in it, and I'm going to start out with no points in it this time either because I want to show that you can find what you need to survive. Hopefully. Um, so yeah, I'm putting it all in medical because again, I hate to level medical. Constitution. Normally, most of my characters, I start out with less Constitution. I actually steal some points from Constitution and put them in other skills just because uh, I guess I hate to level them. But for this one, I'm just going with the 3. I'm equalizing it halfway through medium on each one. This should actually really help for 0.95. I strongly recommend not stealing points from Constitution for this build, this release, especially if you're new, because you're gonna need to run. There's gonna be running. So um, that all said, we're gonna jump in. I'm not gonna say I won't die. Dying is part of this game, especially now. And if I do die, we will pick up and we will move on and uh, play the game because that's why we're here. The fun is in the game, and for me, the fun is the beginning, right? The starting. You first land on the island, you've got nothing. Although that's not true because you have clothes. But the first thing you do, you make a knife, and you've already improved your situation, and that's what this game is all about: improving your situation as you go and trying as early on as you can to get something set up so that if you do die, you don't lose all of those situational improvements. A buried chest somewhere, a locked building, or something. So that's what we're going to try to do. I mean, first we're going to see where we land and go from there. Let's see. I think that's the that's the cheese factory. So we're coming down probably somewhere in that A's, maybe B's. Yeah. So A2. That could be worse. We're actually close to a town, which we're not going to go to until we make some basics. In fact, we're going to try our best not to land in the middle of it. So let's hope. All right, we are out. Actually, I'm all right with this. Let's move off a little bit here. Try to get right on the coast. Which is looking pretty good. But I didn't bet money. Ruba says, "Crazy moms, let's bring the beautiful girl down to earth." Yeah, we got her. She's here. Actually, let me turn the sound up because it is down. There we go. So first order of business, a knife. I mean, first order of business, no puppets. I've already glanced around right when I was landing, so I have to try to remember. I'm trying to point out my steps, so I got to remember to do that. Crafting, not gonna give an in-depth tutorial here on how to play. Most people have that, or I'll impart pearls of wisdom as I come to them. This tab here, the currently craftable, is your best friend. It's awesome, absolutely awesome. So we got a knife. Another thing I should mention, get rid of your starter card. It doesn't matter here so much because we're a PvE island. So most of the players that play here aren't going to, if they find a card, they're not going to do anything with it. But they could, and there's nothing stopping it. So get rid of the starter card. You don't need it. By the time you need a card, you'll have enough money to buy your basic card for $100, and that at least gives you a single-digit pin. So get rid of the starter card. There is very rarely any need whatsoever for it. So the first thing I'm going to do, I skipped the wooden spear. I go right for the backpack first, especially if I've started down here where it's fairly warm. You see all the survival tips. That's a great thing they added with this release. I haven't used it, obviously, because I've really played the game for a long time, but I highly recommend check out those survival tips if you're new. Check out the guide, the manual here. All this stuff is all great stuff. But we're going to get us a backpack first thing. So, because if puppets come right now, we're going in the water anyway. So the weapon is secondary, kind of based on where we landed, right? Because we're on the coast. Puppet comes right now, I'm not fighting. I'm running. All right, so I think, yep, that will let us make the improvised courier. See, it's 3 rags, some rope, and a knife. We've got all that. So we've got our improvised courier. We just need to make it. Get out of the menu so you can look around. If something comes running at you, hit escape and get the hell out of Dodge and try again. Always be looking around, especially with 0.95 where the puppets pop in unexpectedly. Always be looking around. Can't stress that enough. Always be thinking where you'll go. As I was landing, I was deciding in my head, you know, what I'm going to build first, where I'm going to go if it goes bad, which is the water, and where I'm going to head next, which will be that little town. So, equip our bag. We got 9 spots. It's not much, but it's a start. We're going to keep this stick. We're going to move up here and make some more, because we need more rope, because the next thing I want to make is an axe. Axe gives me a halfway decent melee weapon, early game melee weapon. It also gives me the ability to cut down a tree and make the club, which I actually prefer to the axe. So once the axe is done, then my next thing is bow and some arrows, because now I have the backpack. I can actually store some arrows. And at the end of the day, your goal should always be to keep the puppets from touching you. So, oh, I guess I need... Yeah, okay. So like I said, I didn't restart my main character this release, so I've got some engineering skill. Here I've got none. So I'm unfamiliar with how much of which item it takes to make things. Also not sure why it's not letting me make the rope, because it seems like I should be able to make the rope here. Oh, I know why I can't make the rope, because I lost my knife. Oops, stop it. Pause for a minute for me to be stupid and pick up the stick rather than rocks. Here we go. Alright, so crafting. Now we can make a new knife. Alright. Now we can actually make the rope. There we go. Alright, we got a couple sticks, we got the rope. We need another set of rocks so we can make an axe head. Still no puppets. I apologize. I say to keep looking around, and then it probably doesn't appear that I am, but I glance around all the time, so it's kind of second nature, and it may not come through in the video because it's fairly quick. But I am looking around. Trust me, I am always looking around. And more importantly than that, even, is listening. Don't have your sound turned down. Have your sound up. I highly recommend a headset, especially at first, because it really helps get you into the environment, and you can tell a lot based on sound about what's going on around you, puppet positions and all that. It takes time. It comes with experience, but You can actually tell a great deal just from sound. So very important sound in this game. So for anybody that's not familiar with the server, we're a hardcore server. We have increased puppet numbers and increased damage. We have very low loot. We have no gas-powered vehicles that spawn operational. And by operational, I mean with an engine. So you're not going to find anything with an engine that you can just drive off. Because of the high puppet numbers and the high damage, you want to be careful. With 0.95, obviously, everything changed. And we're now in a situation where things are more random, which I love. I love that the game is less predictable than it was. But there are some issues right now that devs are still working on, so some things are very unpredictable. We may go to a town and have 0 puppets, and we may go back an hour later and have just way too many puppets. So it's hard to say what you're going to get in any situation. And obviously there's the ever-present threat of a horde spawning, which, since I started with no stealth, is a very good possibility. So we can, when we get to the town, we'll discuss kind of how I handle that. I'm not saying my way is right, but it does seem to be working for the most part. I will say I've died more with this release than probably any other release. So it is challenging. It's more challenging. I probably should have mentioned the autocraft right there. I think probably most everybody knows about it, but so you probably noticed I've kind of transitioned. I've got the axe, which I said is a decent starting melee weapon. And now I'm going for the bow and arrows so that I've got a ranged attack. And then I'll go back before this axe dies and make my wooden plank so that we've got a better melee weapon, in my opinion, better. So we got 2 buttons for craft. We got craft, which will make 1 arrow. And we've got autocraft, which will make as many as it can. It's a little dark, too. When the weather's not crystal clear, it makes the puppets a lot harder to detect visually, so sound becomes even more important. What I'm going for here is to have 2 full stacks of arrows, which will take up most of this backpack, but I'm not terribly concerned about inventory space at this point. The reason I say that is because right now, getting established and trying to find some better clothing, maybe a backpack, or maybe make a couple backpacks, make a quiver, something of the sort to improve our storage a little better, a little more, is more important than, finding some ammo or something at this point. We don't have a gun anyway. Shooting is problematic now. I don't know how to describe it. But shooting is more problematic than it used to be, but it's also something that I find myself doing more. Once you get a sidearm and some ammo, it really does help with your survivability a lot, because you can use that if a horde does get the jump on you. You can use it to get out of some pretty good jams. So, yeah, that's where we're at. We're closing in. I know this startup stuff is boring, but I didn't want to start with this all done because I think it's important, especially for anybody that's thinking of getting the game or just starting and struggling. Seeing how you can kind of methodically do this. So we got 2 stacks of arrows, and I'm going to cut down a tree right near here because this area has kind of proven itself to be pretty safe. So there's no real sense to move from it until we're ready to go. Over on the bottom left of your screen, you see your kind of status thing. Very important symbols there are the noise one, which you can see is ticking a little bit. It's right in the center above my head. And the visual one, which means something has seen you. So keep your eye on both of those as much as you can. The more sound you're making, the more chance you have of being detected, triggering a horde, that sort of thing. And if that eye one suddenly jumps up to full, nope, not tender, suddenly jumps up to full, it means something has seen you. Even if you haven't seen it yet, something is probably coming. All right, so now we've got the club. You can see the axe. There's a little bit of the axe left, but it's pretty well done for. I don't have room to carry it. I can always make another one. So the axe is not coming with us. Target of opportunity. You can see my food and water is already coming down. So I'm going to check these bushes since this area seems to be relatively safe. I'm most likely not going to find anything. And I'm not going to really walk all over and stress over it. It's going to take a while before we starve to death. Normally, I'm going to show you something here too. Normally I wouldn't do it right here because my water's still at 72. It's not that big a deal yet. But I do want to show this while we're here. So this is salt water. You can't drink it. If we go to our metabolism, we've got absolutely nothing here. So if I start drinking this, I'm going to fairly directly throw up, lose anything that might be in my stomach, and not get any gain out of it. But what you can do is you can take little drinks. So be ready with your escape key. So you hit drink and maybe 15, 20% stop. And what you'll see is we've got some ocean water there. Right? We didn't puke. It's not really going to have any other ill effects. Now, perhaps it should, but it doesn't. So what you're going to see is my water just ticked up to 73, so it helped, right? If I check, whoops, health, I don't have any food repulsion here, so I can even do another little hit, right? See, food repulsion quickly clears. Now I've got more water. So that's a way, even if you're around salt water, you can get little sips to drink to help keep you going. Like I said, normally I wouldn't do that yet at this stage. It's not that critical, but I wanted to show it while we had the opportunity here. So that town is up over this hill. And a couple things to go over, I guess. None of our weapon skills have gone up. Obviously, strength and endurance. Strength's gone up a little bit just from making stuff. Nothing with dexterity. A little bit of survival because we made some things. A little bit of awareness because anytime you see something in the vicinity, in your environment here, like this rock, that increases your awareness. So we can cover it a little more when we get to town and there's actually something that pops out to loot. You'll notice I kind of by automatic, I just throw things on the ground whether I'm taking them or not. That's to increase my awareness. Another thing we can do is we can squat or kneel, and as I walk, let's get to stealth. So stealth is one XP, right? As I walk, you see it going up. It goes up fairly quick, especially at this no skill stage. So we should be moving slow anyway. Rushing around, especially in 0.95, is not safe, especially if you're a new player. Could I run to that town? Probably. Would I if I was on my main? Yes. Should I hear? No. And I won't because this actually gives me an opportunity. We'll check when we get to the town. at the stealth and see how much it's come up just by slowly creeping along, keeping our eyes and ears open. And it's going to help build up that stealth, which is going to make everything a little bit better, right? So even just the simple act of walking to the town, we're improving our situation. Now, were I a little hungrier, I'd be going to search that log or that aloe right there. I'm not going to right now. I still got 63%. Yeah, I can be at 0 for a while, so I'm not terribly worried yet. These are not terribly far out of the way, so yeah, I'll check them out on the way. Might as well. Might find an olive. Probably won't. You can also search these cactuses. Sometimes you'll find edible there. Doesn't help a lot. Helps more with fluid than food. But honestly, fluid in this model's real life survival, right? At this stage in a survival situation, fluid is much more important than food. So, you know, anything that helps fluid is a good thing. If you look at, speaking of fluid, just those couple sips of that, oh, here we go, a couple olives. Just those couple sips of salt water, right? I'm up to 77% from, was it 71 or 72? I don't remember. So I'm going to eat these. I'm not going to carry them around. I'm going to get them in there, let them start doing whatever small amount of good they'll do. And once again, my situation is slightly improved, right? So every action, as much as you possibly can, try to improve your situation. Whether it's something as simple as, you know, squat walking to increase your stealth, or if you're carrying a heavy load and your stealth is good and you're someplace safe enough to do it, go ahead and run with your heavy load and increase your strength and your stamina. And just always do something, you know. You don't want to, here we go, the fig. You don't want to run and exhaust yourself if you're low on food and water, though, obviously. But so the fig, a lot of people don't even realize that you can eat this, but you can. It does give you some bonuses, so eat it up. I don't think she likes it. Yeah, see, this tastes funny, so she's not a fan, but it's survival. Sometimes you got to do what you don't want to. There's another one. And this is with 0 awareness, or pretty close to 0 awareness. So there's things out there. You can find them. But you have to methodically and religiously search and not give up. Not just say, well, there's nothing here. There's nothing in this cornfield. I've searched 10 stalks and there's nothing. So there's nothing here. Well, you might find something in the 11th stalk or the 25th. I mean, a piece of corn could be the difference. So let's see, we are headed in roughly the right direction. We have no compass because no survival. These olive bushes are right here, so we'll check them. And again, I apologize. The slow pace and all, but that's how you should start. That's what I want to show. This isn't meant to be an action-packed full-out stream, although, hey, this is 0.95 SCUM, the Horde. It could happen any second. So this town, let's see, this is this side of this town. I mean, this is actually a really good drop for a start because this town's here and the other one right across the bay is there. Tricky thing about this town is there's a lot of 2-story structures and escape routes are slightly tougher. But I can already see one escape route, one eventual escape route. And that's just based on, you know, experience and gameplay. But it's this house right directly in front of me, right there, is a 2-story structure that you can pretty easily get up on. Unless I'm mistaken, but I don't think I am. So we'll be definitely checking that out. And we'll be checking that out as quickly as we can. Because the sooner you can establish a relatively safe place to get to, the better you are if a horde triggers. And we are in the area where a horde could trigger. Or, well, horde and or just regular puppets. So, whoops, did not want to do that. Get down, bro. Get down. Watermelon, target of opportunity. Oh, here's another one. You never know. Could be. Watermelon's problematic right now because we can't really carry it, except in our hands. But we could eat a few pieces. Bulk up our water. No items found means someone was here before you. That is possibly true. On this server, it just means that welcome to low loot. Oh, and there's a watermelon. So, let's see if I can show this. If we go to our metabolism and we go to our awareness, so we got 1309 in awareness. So if I take this watermelon, just drag it to the vicinity, and we go back and look at our awareness, now it's 1320. So 11 points just for dropping that watermelon on the ground and seeing it in our vicinity. So definitely a good way to start getting your awareness up. Now I'm going to say eat all because I found it and I can't carry it. I'm going to watch my totals. I'm going to get myself in a situation where I got to pee a lot. So I don't want to do that. Although a little bit is okay. So I'm going to eat, I don't know. I'm going to eat to about 50% stomach. And then stop and either leave the watermelon here or maybe cut a piece. Oops. Oh, I stopped without looking. But anyways, 43. So close enough. Let's cut this. Now let's see what happens. Another thing I could have done there is collected seeds and ate the seeds, because then you'll get some nutrients, but without the added water. Which is honestly probably what I should have done. Alright, so let's grab a couple of these just to have. Why won't that grab? There we go. We can't still collect the seeds. Let's check this one really quick. Yeah. Alright, so we're going to leave the rest of that there. And since we're almost to the town and we don't know what's going to happen, let's look at our stealth now that we've walked here. So 7% through no skill, just by creeping here. So definitely a help. So I'm going to continue walking. Oh, something else I forgot to do. So I have no bow skill whatsoever. And so it's always a good idea to get an idea of the draw speed because it's going to be painfully slow. So kind of do it a few times. Judge how long it takes to draw because you're going to need to know that. Another thing that I've been doing on my main is I've been running, which I hardly ever do, but I've been running with a compound bow, so I am unused to the improvise. So we're going to take just a test shot or two. I don't even see where it went. Maybe I missed. Didn't look like I missed, but... Oh, it's going right through the tree. I was aiming at this little spot right here. It's going right through. So, that's good enough. I'm sure that's fine. So, I'm going to leave the bow out. I'm going to get crouched back down. I'm going to try this in third person. Normally, I would be in first person. This full time. It's just the way I play. Ruba thinks I'm nuts. But it's just the way I play it. I'm going to try this in third person because I know some people get motion sickness and other things. So we'll try it. If things get intense, you'll probably notice I go to first person and stay there. Oh, see the puppet up ahead? So now we got two on us. Oops. Oh, I screwed up there. Yep, we're in trouble. Yeah, we're in trouble already. Yep, we're dead. So that didn't take long. I let myself get distracted and didn't pay attention. And that's all it takes is that moment of distraction. So I did that on purpose to show everybody. No, I didn't. But that's all it takes. Two puppets, a moment of distraction, not a quick enough reaction. And on an island like this, you're gone. So move on. All right. We have made gains that we're not going to lose, right? Unless we permadeath, but now we'll get cold. But we've made gains because the stealth thing that we gathered and the other, points, skill points that we built up are still there. So it's not like we've lost all our progress. Yeah, we've lost all our stuff, but none of it really costs us anything but a little bit of time anyway. So now we're above B2. Interesting. Not sure how I want to play this. Definitely want to get down where it's warmer. Especially since rocks and raw materials for starting stuff can be a little rare up here. We actually landed next to a rock, so that's good. Let's get a knife made. I said let's get white. There we go. But if you look, so, I mean, our stealth and our small constitution gains and our archery gains and all that are still here. So it's not like, yeah, we just got killed way too young. Let's get rid of this thing again. And it sucks, and we got to make all that stuff all over again. But I can't say I lost everything, because I didn't. Now, if I permadeath, that's a different story, but it's a long way to permadeath. You'll notice I'm changing up the order I made things a little bit here. I'm making the axe head first because A, I have a little bit more storage, and B, rocks are much rarer up here. So there's two laying right there. I need to make use of them. Bushes and stuff are another huge problem up here. So do need to try and get... Need to try and get an axe or something made, but it's probably not looking good. We're probably going to have to go with the spear for starters. But we're going to keep heading south towards the grass because that's our safest bet survival-wise at this point. If there was a town or something right near here, which there's not, right? I would probably head there and try to find some ready-made something. Is that cuttable? You'll notice even here, right? I'm just slow walking, building up stealth. So there's a series of mistakes I made back there for that death. One is I was talking and not listening, so I didn't catch the puppets first. They caught me first. Two, when I ran from the first puppet, I didn't look around well enough, and I ran right to a second puppet. So now I've already doubled my pleasure with the puppets. And then I was alternating shots between the two puppets because they stagger and it slows them down. And I made the mistake of thinking if I shoot the one on the right twice, he'll die and I'll only have one to deal with. But he didn't die. And then the other one was right on top of me, and he managed to get a hit on me. And with the damage levels here, that hit was enough to make it so I couldn't run away. So really, that's what sealed my fate. It's a series of mistakes, any one of which I probably could have lived through. but the three of them together and shooting the wrong puppet was just like the nail in the proverbial coffin. I mean, that's what really did me in. And that was just distraction and, being off balance because they found me, I didn't find them. And that's what I talk about with situational awareness. You got some gamers out there that are just so amazing with that they can talk, they can joke, they can mess around and catch all those little details. And I really can't unless I'm really in the zone. I tend to miss things like that. Often I can recover from them, but not always. Basically, at this point, I'm looking for anything cuttable, which is not looking good. I actually could, I believe. Oops. I could make that backpack. Because I could use clothes to make the rope, but it's not worth the trade-off at this point because the storage gain, there's really nothing to use it on because I don't have sticks and stuff to make arrows or anything else yet. So I'm going to hold off. The ground is starting to turn down here, so in theory we should start finding more stuff to be able to cut up. That wind is actually pretty loud right now, so when the wind gets really loud, use your focus mode, right mouse button by default. You try to listen every once in a while to make sure that you're hearing them first. We've already established what not hearing them first will do for you. And that was probably an entirely hearing-based encounter that previous puppet for both of us, right? I definitely heard it before I saw it, and I'm pretty sure, although I wasn't really watching the indicators at the time, but I'm pretty sure it probably heard me before it saw me too. Welcome back, Crazy Mom. Still nothing cuttable. It is a lot rougher up in the snow now to get started because there's just so little in the way of cuttable bushes. And even down here, like we should start finding some, but it's still a lot rarer than it used to be. Whoops. Did not mean to go jumping up there. Yeah, we're definitely not doing good in the stick department right now. Where exactly are we? Just coming down there. I keep hearing something. I think it's just the wind. particular area of the map, biome or whatever, bears and wolves are a real threat. Of the two, I'd much rather run into a bear right now than a wolf or two. So let's hope we don't run into any of them, but we can't cut those because you need an axe. Hey, God. Good to see you, man. Been missing you. I've had to deal with these women all alone. I mean, the lovely ladies all alone. Ooh, what was that? Oh, rocks. Don't eat rocks yet. Oh. There's just nothing all the way down through here in the way of bushes. Just nothing. I see a bush over there. What you do is what next time I start over again. What do you mean, crazy mom? Oh my God, we got Wishy typing in chat finally. How did we figure that out? You guys have been busy. Alright, never been so happy to see a bush in my life. Oh, and there's another one. Alright, so we're going to go right for the axe. We've already got the axe head. Can we make the rope? Can we make the rope? Not yet. Alright, so we got to not lose track of those. Go over here. Cut this. Been working late. Yeah, we figured, buddy. Gonna get old doing that Ruba. He's got a ways till old. I mean, at least like a year or two left. Alright, let's get this rope made. So in all of this, right, speaking of things that we're not going to lose, even if we die, all this survival stuff for building these things, admittedly again, will stay with us. Alright, we got negative 250, we get till, what is it? Negative 2,500, so trying to slow it down for him. So we got a little ways before we have to worry about permadeath and actually losing stuff that can't be replaced. So things are not as bleak as they seem. And in some ways, out here in the wilderness like this, the puppets have pretty much left us alone, and that's actually easier than it used to be before the puppet rework, which I'm not terribly happy about. We used to have roaming wilds that were formidable. So in some ways, the game is actually easier. We're going to make some more rope. And we're going to make the backpack because it doesn't make any sense to make the bow yet because we have no arrows, and it doesn't make any sense to make arrows because we have no storage. So we're going to cut up as little of our clothes as we have to make that backpack. And then we can start on some arrows and whatnot. Socks next. Alright, so now we can make the backpack. Alright, here we go. We got an extra rag. We're going to keep that. We need our bow before our arrows, because what's the point of arrows without the bow? And there's all these bushes right up here in this corner, so that's going to be our next spot to make some arrows. Try to get ourselves back to where we were. Just take that with us. Sticks. Nice thing about this stage of the game is even if you die, it really doesn't take that long to get right back where you were. Equipment-wise, sorry. I guess getting back to where you were location-wise, not so much. But look, I mean, we're rolling in on fame. We're almost there. I mean, we're practically to the... Well, I mean, we're already there to the bottom of the list, so things are good. Why did that... Did I not hit craft off? Maybe I hit escape by accident, I don't know. Grab up some arrows here. Right, that's a start. It's not quite enough, but it's a start. Let's get a club next. Since we're out of bushes in this area. So you notice based on what was available around me, I changed up the order a little bit of the way I do things. So the order we used first originally is how I would normally do it. Pretty much how I always do it. But this time, because of the lack of availability of sticks, changed it up a little bit. End result, we'll be in the same place in about the same time frame. So it doesn't really matter. There's no real right answer for a lot of this stuff. Do what seems to make sense. Change it if it fails. Change it when it fails, because things are going to fail on you. Learn from your mistakes. Rinse and repeat. It's about all you can do. So we can carry that still for a little bit here till we get the rest of our arrows made. So I think we'll head towards B2 town, although I don't usually like starting there. But so we got to go southwest, and that's roughly in that direction. But to figure that out, you can first make sure that there's nothing in the area that's going to get you. And then start walking at a decent pace. Bring up your map and just watch which way your dot is moving. It can be really hard to tell. You may have to do it over time, but don't just run with your map open. So I'm heading basically due south. So I want to go a little bit to the right so that I end up cutting down through there towards B2 town. I'm still looking for bushes. I still want to build up my stealth. But I do want to get armed. So I'm going to get the rest of the arrows before I go back to, crouch walking. The rest of my stealth. I say that like it's just going to quickly get me there. It's not. It's going to take a long, long time. But every little bit helps. Every little point that you gain in it helps. So, God, you gonna be able to stream with us on Sunday, or are you gonna be tied up with work and whatnot? This axe is running out of life pretty fast. Should be another bush. Yeah, here's another bush. Let's get the rest of our arrows and get moving here. This is probably going to do us. I'll be there. Perfect, buddy. So we are... Guess we'll announce it now. This week's SCUM Sunday, we are going to be over on Trainor's Trenches for our first 0.95 stream over there. It's not going to really be a themed stream like most of them. It's just going to be all of us picking up... we're not re-rolling our characters, per se. I mean, anybody's free to, but we're just going to go stream our start over on that server and hang out, have some good times. I haven't heard back from the admin crew over there yet, whether any of them will be joining us or not, but I did hear from Loreline. This is another content creator. Is doing some good stuff out there. She actually did a stream from Primal Island last week, and she is going to join us for the Trainor's Trenches stream next Sunday, or this coming Sunday, if everything aligns well. So looking forward to it. Should be a good time. I've said it many times. Anybody that knows me knows that this right here, this out here scraping it, trying to get started, is my favorite part of the whole game. So anytime I get a chance to do that, even if I'm dying, I don't care. This part I love. Ruba and I do a lot of camping and stuff in real life, and so we do some of this kind of stuff in real life. We hike and whatnot, so this is kind of just like good, wholesome fun for us. And we love the fact that we've met so many people on SCUM that just love the game and love hanging out, and we've got the beginnings of a great community. So I think SCUM is meant to go good places. I really do. It's more than a survival game. It's one of the, depending where you go, obviously there's exceptions to every rule, but as a general rule, it's one of the least toxic games out there, at least in these PvP or PvE environments. No, don't eat it. No, don't eat that. No. Don't eat them without checking them. This one is actually poisonous, so be careful of that. So now we're back where we were. We're exactly back where we were. Actually, we're a little better because we actually have a little more storage. I am going to make a new knife to replace that almost dead one. And then we're back on the kind of search for food as we go. We're heading towards the nearest town, which in our case is B2. Not my favorite town in the world. It's been interesting, this release, because it's one of the big ones that tends to go from either no puppets or a lot of puppets. So we'll see which type we get. But yeah, we got full ride on arrows. We're doing good. Shoes are holding up halfway decent, being that we came out of the snow and all with them. Stomach's getting a little rumbly. Gas station has possibilities of backpacks, quivers, food. It's a good place to hit up. That said, the way puppets are currently spawning in, approaching on foot could be problematic, especially since we're not, our archery isn't built up at all yet, right? We're pulling the bow really slow. Melee combat, there's no points there yet. So until we build up a little bit, it makes more sense to avoid it. Try to do some little hunt and pecks at the houses down here in B2 proper. There is water at the other side of town. We are getting low on water, so I may kind of just skirt the upper edge here, the north edge of the town. Right down through here. I don't know if you can see my mouse, but I may skirt along that, possibly hit up a couple houses, work my way down to the creek down there, get some good water in me, and then look at the rest of the town. That would make a lot of sense to me survival-wise. Maybe we'll find a chunk of food on the way. Maybe not. But again, I'm just going to slowly work on my stealth as I go. Now, you can actually... Let me search this target of opportunity first. So you can actually do the mouse wheel one. Nope. You got to be real careful with it. Mine is kind of not that sensitive, but one wheel frontwards will actually, I don't know if you even notice that, but it will increase your speed a little bit, and you'll still get the stealth gains. So for something like this, we can speed up a little bit. I'm going to kind of stay to this power line until we get closer to the town, which is just over this rise. But reason being, I can see better than I can in the woods. Also, reason being, I'm close to things like those rocks right there, where if I do get chased, I can jump over them, and as the puppets follow me over them, they will hurt themselves a little bit at a time. And that's one way you can work on getting puppets down. Now, there's something over here. So, like I said, always be looking around, and your eyes will get trained to it. But I think we're going to find a couple mushrooms over here. Oh. Oh, it fooled me. It was these leaves. But if it had been mushrooms, that would have been cool. But anyways, it's worth checking, right? Because if you find a couple of good mushrooms right now, you're going to get some nutrients and whatnot from them, but you're also, more importantly, going to get moisture from them. So, mushrooms at this stage, very good find. And this is coming from someone that hates mushrooms in real life. And honestly, if I was out in the wild like this and starving and really thirsty, it would actually be a while before I would eat one. But I would do it to live, so. Unless it's peas. I will not eat peas. Not canned ones. I might eat some out of a garden, but I'd rather starve to death than eat canned peas. Ugh. This first building right up here is actually a bar thing, and next to it is some vegetable patch, and there's a couple fruit trees around. So, hey, our luck might turn around right up here. Or Horde and dead, or Stupid Cal mistaken dead. Who knows? Oh, we got a chicken. So chickens are a mixed bag. It's interesting because they are. Oh, there he is, right over there. They're very prevalent, and they're fairly easy to kill. Usually, the problem you have is that you don't know how to cook. Oh, there's two. The problem you have is that you don't know how to cook them at this stage of the game. Now you can eat them. Oh, he heard me. See, that's that stealth right there. You can eat them raw. It's not gonna be terribly bad for you here because they haven't really implemented that kind of stuff yet. But I don't know. I try not to do that sort of thing just because I guess I'm a purist. There's another chicken. See, that's crazy. The number of chickens is just nuts. So if you're getting into the cooking aspect of Scum, the barbecue cookbook is one of the best ones to find first thing, or as quickly as you can, and work through it. Like, get the ingredients for each recipe, one at a time, obviously, and get all the ingredients, the optionals and everything, and then cook it. Take your time, cook it so that it cooks perfectly, and then you will have that recipe even when the game restarts and they wipe the map. As long as it's not a character wipe, your character will still know how to make that recipe. So if this was my main, I would know how to cook those chickens right now, even if I was just starting out. So definitely learning the recipes, memorizing them, I guess is what you would call it, is a good thing to do so that your character, when you restart, has that. Again, as long as you don't permadeath. So that's what I was saying earlier. As long as you don't permadeath, you're really not losing everything. So we got, if I remember correctly, we got broccoli here. I don't know if this one has cabbage. There are cabbage patches in this town. So we're gonna search this. I am gonna go first person because we've already seen what happens when my attention wanders, and my attention tends to wander if I'm not in first person. So there we go. I mean, we lucked out. We got broccoli. Don't know if we'll find another one. Likely we won't. Oh, there is cabbage here. Oh, there's another broccoli. And this is with no awareness. This is just luck of the random number generator. Oh, wow. That we can't actually carry, but... So I'm not going to search any more cabbage just because I can't carry it. And somebody might come along right after me that could. So we can collect seeds. If I eat one... Uh-oh. Yep, incoming. Got 2 of them. Missed him. There we go. So that's what I should have done before. Just keep alternating back and forth, no matter how tempting it is, because this right guy kept presenting me with a great shot. No matter how tempting it is, just keep alternating back and forth so that the one that is going to be getting closest to you next, you're hitting to slow it down. So from these guys, I'm not going to take anything. Obviously, their clothes are resources that we're not ready for yet, and I don't have the storage for, so not going to worry about it. I'm going to go back here and try to get my cabbage. But see, that was a perfect example. Just started eating that cabbage, or was just about to, and I heard the puppet. Hadn't seen it, heard it. I was able to judge the basic direction, so I immediately knew what way to head, and you'll notice that I turned around while I was running and made sure where he was, because it turned out it was a they, which is a good thing, but that's figuring out where they are. I mean, just running balls out, and you can see straight across, there's a skinny puppet right there. Just running balls out away from something, there's a time and a place for it. So I ate a little bit. I'm going to collect the seeds and eat the rest because I can't carry this. Just running balls out without knowing what and how many are after you is not always a good thing. Sometimes you have to do it. Sometimes if they're close enough, like if there's a skinny chasing you, you can just jump to third person and then it gives you a little better view. But yeah, situational awareness, trying to determine what is where, what's after you, where it is a good thing. Another thing I should mention, so crouched, how I've been walking around crouched. You can shoot from crouched, no problem. You can do it all day. What you can't do is if you're a melee weapon, you can't hit from crouched. So if a puppet comes up right now and I try to hit it, I'm not gonna. I can't block. I can't hit. I can't do anything. I need to stand up first before I can hit or block or anything. So something to be aware. If you're gonna melee, get standing up. Actually, I'm gonna. Oops. The thing to point out is it always switches your weapons on you. So hit the button you want it stored in before you pull your new weapon, so that it doesn't do that. It's something to kind of get in the habit of. So 9.5 specific thing. Used to be, especially on a server like this, it was a death sentence for you or someone else to leave doors open. This is no longer the case. One of the first things you'll see me do in a single-story building like this is open a door outwards. And unless it's one I'm sure of, check to make sure I can get up on that door and up on the roof. Now I know this is my first escape area. So if everything goes to hell, this is where I head. Now I can search the rest of the building, and I hear a puppet outside, so I know there's one out there. I can tell by the sound he's in that direction, roughly. So I've got a heads up. He doesn't know where I am. I know where he is. So that's what you're looking for, right? Hey, Dorth. Good to see you, man. So I'm going to finish looting. I'm not going to open these double doors. And I was going to show you why, but that puppet's going to probably prevent that. But the long and short of it is most double doors like that, you either can't or it's very hard to climb up. So leaving them shut, you're not going to get confused when you're running away from a bunch of puppets and try to get up them and get yourself killed. So here he comes, sneaking right around that building. Hasn't seen us yet. And now he's not gonna. She. It was a she, I guess. As much as sex matters to a puppet, I guess. I don't know. What's going on here? Well, buddy. Just doing a little restart explanation, look around the island sort of video. We got food here too. So that's the cabbage and whatnot that we ate has largely solved our water issue, at least immediately. So we've got more time to spend getting down to that water supply. So, good example right there. I caught myself just looting, looking down and looting and not looking up and looking around. And what I missed while I was doing that is there's a puppet right over by that garage, a skinny one, which is by far your most dangerous because they don't hit as hard, but they're way faster. There's also one right here. So we're going to have to deal with them. But we're not going to necessarily rush to deal with them because they haven't seen us yet. So I'm going to get myself a second escape route. And since I can hear still that he hasn't seen or heard me, I'm just going to loot this while I'm here. And this escape route includes both doors. So here he is, all unaware. This is actually, for my current bow skill in this bow, there's a lot of shot for it, but it's doable. So here, we're going to drag these out. We can't carry them, we're not going to use them, but as we saw earlier, that gives us awareness points. We got something going on health-wise. What is it? I guess it's just hunger. Hunger we're not gonna fret over. The puppets despawn very rapidly currently. And so it's good to get your arrows out of them while you can. So while I was doing that, while I was searching that puppet, I heard one starting to walk over here. But it didn't sound alerted, so that's a case where I looked over to see if my little vision thing over at the left was showing that something had seen me, and it wasn't, so I figured I was safe to finish looting the puppet. Now, let's see, other things. Search all garbages, always, especially at the beginning of the game, because in general, they often have money in them. They often have cigarettes in them, which can help with exhaustion. They can have bread in them. They can have some of the items for some of our Primal Island quests in them, candles and things like that. So always a good thing to search. They can have needles in them. But anyways, I think it's safe to show you this now. So if I was to open these double doors, probably I can't jump up on them and get up on the roof. So when things go to crap and there's a horde chasing you, you might think, well, I left them open, so I must be able to get up on them. So that's why I tend to leave doors I can't climb up closed. That includes like these two-story guys. Whoops, as it opens. I'll leave these shut because I can't climb them and get up on the top of the building. Doris says, where is Wishy? Ruba says, Wishy's been owning police stations and churches today, looking for our candles for weapon of choice quest. Yeah, Dorothy, they are close. The two of them are close to getting their weapon of choice quest. In fact, we got the last of their fireworks yesterday, I think it was, from the city, so till a certain guy I know comes back and we have to go get his fireworks, I think I'm done with the city for a while. So anyways, we found a knife. We're gonna, actually, before we do that, nuance of the game, pull it out of your quick slot, and then you can put the new one in. I have certain places my things go in my quick slots, right? My knife, my current knife is always 7. So, not everybody does that, but I need that muscle memory and that position memory. Otherwise, I'll be searching for the knife all night, right? Oh, big find. Sneakers, the high tops, way better than these trainers. I'm going to keep the trainers shortly for a short while, just in case. But also, we can get out of this ugly orange shirt. So we're going to equip that because it looks better, even though we've got this sweatshirt on. It really doesn't matter. And I'm going to cut this and hopefully get a couple of clean-ish rags that I can use if I need to bandage. Oh, very clean. Nice. So we're going to keep those. You'll notice I've kept the gloves on. Reason being, hand abrasions are still a thing. They're not as prevalent as they used to be, but they are still a thing. And especially when you're doing a lot of crafting and stuff like at the beginning like this, it's good to have them. And I do like the wool ones. They're not as durable as they once were, and they're not as durable as they are in real life. But yeah, it's a thing. It's what I wear in real life. So, you know, this door I open. I haven't really ever found any loot out on a balcony, but you can see I could run in downstairs and come up here, and I can use this door to easily get up on this roof. So I leave that one open so that it's ready if I need it. Always check your vicinity so you don't miss things like that pot. Can't use it, but if we could, it would be there. And if nothing else, it gave us awareness. I hear a pig. I've already done that house. Already done this vegetable patch. Don't really have a set way that I do a town. Sort of depends on where the puppets are and whatnot, usually. Or what I'm looking for. There is a puppet. I can hear it. You guys probably can't. But it's roughly out that way, behind this house somewhere. So I'm going to actually be quiet in here. Ooh, and I'm going to put the knife away, because that's not what we want to fight with. He may see us through this window. It's hard to say. He's right out there. I can't see. Oh, I see him moving just a little bit there. So he's right out there. The Christmas ornament. They still haven't cut those back to normal levels. I didn't get a Christmas present this year. I had my tree up and everything. Ruben wish he got one, but I didn't get anything. Guess I was bad this year. So I will eventually open that door because this house is another escape route, possible escape route. I'm not going to do it yet because that puppet is out there somewhere. All right, so we got a mask. These sell pretty good, but I'm not going to be at a trader anytime soon, so I'm just going to leave it. Yep, he's getting closer. What the? Oh. What just happened? Okay. Hopefully that puppet doesn't kill me. My ping is too high to play on the server. That's... No, not even true. That was weird. I noticed it lagged a little bit. Right before that, the door lagged. I must have hit it twice, and that's why it closed. Hopefully this puppet didn't nail us. Oh, connection timed out. This is not good. Got some kind of network issue going on here. Ping. Why is that too high? It's gonna be amazing if that puppet didn't get us. He didn't. Let's fix this door first thing. I think it did despawn the puppet, though. So, that sucks. I mean, I hate it when things like that happen and mess up the flow of the game, but I guess it could have been worse. It could have gone the other way and made a whole bunch of extra puppets. Oh, lighter. Big find. That's a keep. Red chocolate spray paint. Ooh. I mean, I really can't carry it, but I can at least customize my bow, right? We'll just, well, let's do stripe. First color. Oh, yeah, there we go. I like it. I'll carry it for now, but it's not like we can really use it. Oh, yeah, look at that. This thing's going to shoot way better now. Puppet. Why did I run out? Because he was kind of doing a pre-alert type of sound. So I wasn't sure if he was coming in or not. He's not. I'm going to actually hold off. It's a pretty decent shot for this bow at this skill level. Especially considering I've been playing with a compound for weeks. So I'm not going to take the shot. You'll notice I opened this garage door too because that's an easy way up on the garage. I'm right by this house, so we're going to search this one. Another thing to be said, too, is the puppets don't so much spawn and sleep in the house anymore. At least for now. But they do occasionally spawn in the house. I think it more depends on where they spawn around the player. So it's kind of hit or miss, but you will occasionally, and it's kind of rare, but you will occasionally find them in the house. So don't just kind of blindly jump in. and assume the house is empty because it might not be. Typically, you'll hear them, but not always. Sometimes they can be very quiet. This guy up in the road up here. Oh, we got another one out here. Shot him in the toe. Other important thing, especially when your bow skill is low and whatnot, and you're not well used to the bow and where it shoots and everything, because they are a little different. Each one in each strength setting, things change a little bit, but don't get stuck on the whole headshot thing. Shoot center mass. Shoot where you're going to hit them. Typically, it staggers them, which gives you another shot. And you got a much better chance of hitting center mass 3 times than you do of hitting a head once. Unless you're, somebody really good and coordinated. But so this is a sticky thing. We got 3 puppets here. They could all alert. So we've already looted that way. We're going to try to skip them. So from the sound, I can tell this building is probably empty. We've actually got 2 puppets out here. It's a little less than ideal. But we've got our escape route. It's the way we came. Sideways shots are difficult. Much better if they're looking at you, but sometimes you can't wait. Zucchini seeds we're going to take. Yes, anybody just caught me. I threw them right in my inventory instead of on the ground. I should have threw them on the ground. I say I just wasted some number of awareness points. But that's all right. Search your puppets. Same reasons. They can have things in them that you want. But they also, all these things that pop up right here, those are awareness points. Don't search your puppet if it's going to get you killed. Not worth it. But, if you can, search your puppet. We got a chicken out here messing around. Just gonna search for some onions. Our food is getting low, so we're still a long way from starving to death. But it is time to put a little more emphasis into it, so. Obviously, I'm not going to loot every single thing in this patch. What I typically will do is search a patch like this until I find something, or I'm convinced I've done, 85, 90% of it. Or I just plain lose interest. Yeah, we're not finding anything. See, there's still things I haven't searched. And I'll bet you, if you searched methodically every single thing here, you would at least find some item. But I've never really had the patience for that, so. So I'm going to start getting to the point here where most of these I've already searched, and I pretty much just give up. This is a fruit tree. This is worth searching. That box got some serious loot lag. Oop, puppet coming. So, oh man, let me out. Oh, I got lag going on. Seriously. Don't get stuck in a building. Look, that puppet's back down there already. So they've respawned uncontrollably. Like that's one of the problems right now is they respawn. Oh, two. Oh, right through them. Yeah, there's some serious lag issue going on. That shot went right through that puppet. And see, he drove me out here, and now we've got more. See, my indicator just lit up that something's coming. And that actually lit up before I heard him. So it pays to watch both of those. Or to watch the one and listen to the other one. Don't depend on just sound, or don't depend on just that visual indicator. We're losing a lot more arrows under 0.95 because they're the puppets despawn so fast, and they take most of the arrows with them. So keep an eye on your arrows. I'm down 3 arrows since we started. Not bad, really. But I try not to get trapped in a building because you have less room to fight. That was obviously 2 puppets that came in here, and I only saw one, so I obviously I missed seeing the one. But if I had been stuck in this building with most of the doors closed and 2 puppets came in, could have been in trouble. I still close doors on buildings that I'm not going to use. I'm not going to use the doors as a possible escape route. So, personal preference, it really doesn't matter as much right now. It may again. I'm not sure what's going on with the internal puppets. There's a couple different rumors, which I don't want to go into. I don't want to speculate on them because I don't know which, if either, are true. So I tend not to present things that I just don't know the answer to, because there's a bit too much of that in the gaming community in general, I think. Oh, here we go. Cherries. Perfect. I'm not going to eat them right here because I don't want to. I'm down on food enough that I don't want to be in a situation where I start eating those cherries and a puppet comes and interrupts me. So I'm going to pause a moment on the cherries, search this house, then I'll get myself up on the roof where I can eat my cherries in peace, and I don't have to interrupt it even if something comes. And I don't know if anyone noticed, but I've been failing to crouch walk through this town, which I should have been doing because that would have been building up stealth. So missed opportunity there. Not the end of the world. Move on. Realize you screwed up. Speaking of, let's see where we're at with archery's at 59 through basic already, coming along. Stealth is 33, so I mean, it's working. Awareness is at 36. Those are like the top 3 scores right now. They're the kind of important things right now. Melee, we need to start working on, but I want to do that in very controlled situations. Obviously, unless things go to crap and I have to do it to save myself, but no water, not unexpected. I'm hearing a lot of walking around me now. It's definitely a lot more puppets than we've been seeing previously, so I hear what sounds like 2 out there. Oh, they're coming. Yep, incoming skinny. There's another one I just saw. That's not the one, I don't think, but maybe. Yeah, this is actually heating up quite nicely. Come on, give me my arrows. Except we will be on trainers. I now have more money in my bank account. Crazy Mom's just got money in her account in case she dies or something during a stream. And this week we're streaming over on Trainor's Trenches server, so none of us will have any money. Yeah, we'll all be in the same boat over there, Crazy. It'll be good. I don't know who was. I know Crazy was here and probably heard it, but I don't know Dorth and God. I don't know if you guys were here, but we've got. I believe Laureline is going to join us over there for this Sunday stream. I don't know if any of you have met her before, but she's another streamer. She actually just did a stream from Primal last week, and I posted the link in our content notification channel, so if you want to check it out. She got really lucky, like very few puppets. I'm gonna... Oh man, I just crashed again. What this ping too high thing is, this is ridiculous. There's definitely something going on network-wise. $373. 702. I've never had pings like this. I don't know if it's just me or is Ruba, are you having issues with this too, or? This is crazy. Now I'm not even getting a feedback from it. I was streaming, but I just dropped. See if that helps you. It's got to be my PC or something. I don't know what the heck. try shutting a few things down and see if it helps. Actually, I guess let me drop the game completely and restart it. See if that helps. Oh no, I've actually literally never had this. Bitrate going out to YouTube is terrible right now too. .803 ping. That is not right. Well, the other thing I can do is stop and reboot completely, and I'll probably have to start a whole new stream. It's not working like this. All right. Tell you what, guys. I'm gonna reboot. I will try to restart this same stream, but I doubt it's gonna work. So I'm probably gonna have to start another one. So uh, it'll pop up in the it'll pop up in YouTube in just a few if it works out. Okay, maybe we're back. I hope. Oh, there goes the bitrate again. What the heck? All right, well, I'm somehow alive. I'm going to get on the roof here, figure this out. Yep, there come the puppets. Wow, that's a lot of puppets. Not sure if anybody's even seeing it. Alright, so Ruba's seeing it. I'm not sure what the heck is up with my OBS because it's not. It's not giving me the right view here. Oh. Can I pop this chat window out? All right, I think OBS has the wrong chat information or something, but it seems to be outputting. I guess. All right. Well, that sucks. Things were going pretty good. I'm not sure what's up with that. Anyway, got puppets now. Plenty of them. Lost a lot of arrows in that exchange, though. Got one somewhere right down here. Oh, right there. Oop. Well. Oops. All right. I'm gonna take just a second and I need to update the link to this thing. Problem is Discord logged out, so that happened. I think we're up. I hope we're up. Anybody let me know if we're not up. Not that you'd know. So, we're probably going to have to make some more arrows because I think a bunch of them puppets despawned with ours. Yeah, definitely gotta make arrows. Let's finish this house here. What was that? There's just some weird stuff going on. Oh, there's some arrows. All right, pull that stuff out. All right, yeah, we gotta have more arrows. Up it there. That's a bit iffy, but might be all right. Got a pig. Cargo drop B1. Oof, fairly close, but not for on foot. All right, let's make some new arrows and try to search this town. Ah, welcome back, God. I don't know what the heck happened there. Seems to be acting better now. All right. All right, let's get back to it here. Back crouched, build up some stealth. I'm gonna search these trees to see if there's any. Oh, look at that. There's a score. Again, I'm gonna wait till somewhere uninterrupted that I can eat them. Oh. All right, that's worth more than, well, actually, yeah, I'm gonna be eating that apple anyways, so. Let's go eat an apple. So anyways, yes, food at first. Food is a constant struggle at first. does get better, but you can survive. You can eat without having to have a base, without having to kill animals. Although, when you get to the point where you can do that, it does help a lot. Once you have a little cooking under your belt, and you can cook red meat right from scratch, like right from now. I could go here to crafting and cooking, and what's interesting? That's huh. There's more recipes here than there should be. Almost like they didn't wipe with the character wipe. Because I don't think Shabab, I don't think you get that by. I don't think you get these by default. Unless I'm just not remembering it. But like fish skewer, I'm pretty sure was not on there. Huh. I guess I don't know now. Grilled fish, I don't think that was in there either. I'm gonna have to research that, I guess, a little bit, but I guess the point I was after is red meat. This will show you what you can use. So bear, deer, doe, donkey, goat, horse, human, pork, wolf. You can cook all them now. So those you know how to cook. You for some reason don't know how to cook chicken. Not sure why. But another thing that walking slowly does, not so much the crouch walking, because that does seem to use more energy, but walking around slowly, not running everywhere, does actually help save on your food and water reserves. The more energy you expend, which running and whatnot, you expend more energy, the faster that stuff depletes. So it's another reason to just walk around more slowly, take our time. So here's this well's got a good bit of water in it, actually. We're going to take a couple hits, and then we're going to remember it's here in case we get desperate again. But this should pretty much solve our water issue for now. At least for the short term. Oh. So this would normally be a great find. $15 bolts. I'm going to call it on the shoes and keep the bolts. I should actually call it on the paint and keep the shoes. Just if I don't find anything else or no thread or anything, and these shoes get low, I can swap them out. These doors I'll leave open as well because you can get up here. It's not the safest place in the world, but it might give you that few seconds you need to save yourself. Same with garages. Garages can be problematic. A lot of times the puppets will not get up on the garage. and it will save you. Not up. What's... What's not up, God? Anyways, as I was saying, same with garages. They 9 times out of 10, the puppets don't get up there, but they can, especially in cases where there's a fence. They can sometimes jump and actually get up there. Oh, that's a horde. So I'm going to keep the club out because, like I said, this could be problematic. We have other escape areas. It wouldn't be fun to get to them. But we're just going to wait this out a minute. And see how it plays out. So they should start to calm down eventually and walk away, and you can pick off one or two, and then they'll kind of re-alert. Probably not going to do it that way. You see, they're starting to calm down. So when they get the bow out, try to get a couple right close by because you can often get the arrow back. At least some of them. If they die close by. We just got, already we got basic archery. Yeah, can only get one arrow. See, here I am basically aiming for the heads. Reason being, I don't have a lot of arrows. Gonna collect what we can. So the longer they're there, the more that keep coming in, and they get in the building, so it gets a little annoying because it takes time, but quit moving. So we're getting there. There's, I don't know, 4 or 5 in there maybe still. It's a little hard to tell, but Let's see, we got 1, 2, 3, 4. So at least another one. He might be the last one. Nope. There's at least one more in there. Listen. Nobody. So there's our first horde. And that's, like I said, the garage is not ideal. Because they can occasionally get up there. But it can be viable. Man, we lost a lot of arrows. Some of them are going to be in these puppets, but you see how fast they're decaying. So it'd be hard pressed to get them all searched and get all the arrows out of them. But we'll try. Is that still running, Rube? Yeah, that's all we're getting for arrows. Oh, there's one. There was a knife in here. It's 83. It's better than that one, so I'm going to actually grab that up. Hey, oh, that was fun. Where are we at for arrows? We might want to grab some more. So far, we're not finding a lot, like in the way of backpack or whatnot, but oh, back to items. Can't craft. Make them. All right, that'll give us a full ride again. It's kind of critical to have a decent amount of arrows because when these horde outbreaks happen, as you can see, you need quite a few arrows. So we really haven't found much. Damn, chat is delayed. Couple puppets. We just had like 30 at the drop. Nice, Rube. I mean, I had at least 20 there, maybe. Chat is delayed. Yeah. Interesting. I don't know what's going on with it. I'm gonna have to update drivers and I guess go through this thing because I had some weird stuff the other day. Different than this, but it's the first I've seen that happen. However, it does seem like the YouTube connection is more stable than it was, so. Wrote that when you were back up. Oh. Oh, so my chat's delayed. That could be because it's not coming through my studio like it's supposed to. It's coming through like I got it in a pop-out window. As long as you guys can see it, that's what's important. So you notice I'm not finding much at all. And I think that's what's discouraging a lot of people. But it's by design. It does get better as your awareness goes up. It's not necessarily, the loot doesn't necessarily get better, quality wise, I guess, or item wise. But the chance to get something improves. So with that, obviously, the chance to get something brings with it the chance that it'll be a good something. So it gets better the more your awareness comes up, and you have to work for it. So if I find a backpack, it's going to really mean something. If I go 3 more days and then I find a backpack, it's going to really, really mean something. I did find nails, or not nails, bolts, which is pretty good for this early in the game. I don't really have much of a use for them, but I could, at this point, actually we can take a look. Let me get somewhere safe, but because I'm not sure with the lack of engineering and survival, I'm not sure what the amounts will be, but we'll take a look in just a second here. So I could, right at this point, best bet right here. Like, for instance, if my club was in worse shape, needed to be fixed. I could make a toolbox right now. What it would need to do that, though, is I would have to make an axe again, because I got to have a plank. And I would have to... What else? What do I got to have? So I'd have to have 2 planks. So it's kind of... At this level, it's like it used to be. You got to have 5 of a blunt object, which club qualifies. I've got bolts, so that would be fine. It's not showing because it's not out of the box, but so I'd need to make an axe, cut down a tree, get 2 planks, and I'd need 3 pieces of metal. 2 for here, 1 to make a nail at a machine shop, which there's one right here in town. And then I'd be able to make the toolbox, fix my club, or if I found something else, or if my bow is in bad shape, I could fix that stuff up. What I'm really missing is thread right now, which it's not critical yet. It will get there. Mainly for my shoes is the real issue, but also for a quiver and better backpack and that sort of thing. So the quiver, where are they now? So I can make this improvised guy with just cloth. I could make that now. I could get puppet cloth. I could get a. It probably actually makes sense to make it. Realistically, I should do it. So I think I will. But I can eventually make this one. I think we can use puppet skin again. Yeah. So if I get the sewing kit, I'll be able to make the better quiver. And I could also, because you can use puppet skin for this, with a sewing kit, I can make the better backpack. So I can improve my situation there. All I need is thread or fishing line or some combination of the two, because that's a thing now too. You can combine partials. think I angered his buddy. This guy's coming. All right, so let's make the quiver. Get that. That'll give us a little more storage. Just to, I know this is dragging on. I know it's been a little slow paced, but it honestly shows the essence of what you need to do at the beginning. You need to take your time. To not die. I rushed a little bit that first time out. I let my concentration wane a little bit, and I died right off the bat. So I mean, it happens. Happens to all of us. So it's nothing to really get discouraged about. What do we need for this again? 5 rags, which we're going to use puppet rags. So we need tree bark rope, which we can get, and a long stick. Only a long? No, we can use a short too. Okay, so that's all we got for clothes, huh? Tells us stay there a minute. See if I can get this guy to come over here. All right. That'll be a little more close. There's got to be a bush. There's a bush. So let's cut this guy up. These over here with the other ones. So there's 5 of those. All right. Stick and rags, or stick and rope. So hopefully that stuff doesn't despawn. There's a lot of puppets out here. They might take exception to this. We'll see. Or my end of the stream is delayed. Make sure your YouTube is saying live. Sometimes it slips out of live. It's hard to say with restarting it like that. I haven't had good luck doing that before. All right. So can I now make? Not yet. I need to cut this guy. I mean, the stream itself looks stable now. And my local feed is not local feed, but my copy of YouTube seems to be keeping up. So I don't know. All right, so there's our rope. There's a stick. We have to somehow get this stuff back with no room. Right. I should have cut one of them up for a skin. Totally forgot about it. That was dumb. All right, we need another puppet. Hey, buddy, you wanna come be? Ah, crap. I thought I was shooting him in the arm. Oop. He might not like me cutting his buddy up. Everything's still here. There we go. So we can make that. We can make the improvised. Well, not sure what they call it. Do they call it improvised? Yeah. We can make the lowest level improvised quiver. It'll hold 1 stack. But hey, that's an improvement. It didn't take the skin? Wait, I thought it needed... Oh, it doesn't need a skin, does it? Oh, it's just the rags. And look, I screwed up. It used my good rags and left these crap too. So this is what I say. You gotta keep your attention span up because I screwed up with the skin, and now I screwed up with that. I got the quiver, so fine. Who cares? It's fine, but could have been better. Didn't need to go for the skin. Didn't need to waste my rags, so we all make these kinds of mistakes. It's nothing to get discouraged about. So I already did search this. I didn't keep that, some of these you can get up on, some you can't. This is one you can't. I didn't keep that skin because by the time we get the sewing kit, we might as well just get a couple new skins. There's no sense of really carrying that around all that time. Ooh, money and another screwdriver. Money is when it's crappy like that, split the stack and then drag it over to the good one, and then it's 100%. And any you add to it after that point will be 100. So don't pass up crappy looking money. I want to hit that convenience store because of the possibility of food. Heavy armor guy. When they're bouncing, unless you're really good, aim for right where they'll hit the ground and shoot when they're just about there. Don't try to pick them up out of the air. Some people can do it. I can do it sometimes, but it's not. I'm not consistent enough with it to where it's worth the risk. Feel like we lost some more arrows right there, but so strategy going forward. Obviously, food is becoming a thing, which we're going to hit that convenience store. Hopefully, there'll be something there. Water, less of an issue, and we know where there's water. So not really a big deal there. We need the bigger backpack, so it kind of makes sense. There's a lot of this town unexplored, so were I going to just keep playing straight through, I would loot the entire town, hoping to find thread, because if I find enough thread or fishing line or whatever to make a sewing kit, then I've got my bigger backpack, fixed up shoes, and the bigger quiver. So that would really set me up well to travel to another town. Whereas right now, going to another town doesn't make a whole lot of sense unless I wanted to do an extended play session and I exhausted this town. Oh, oh, honey. One of my favorite weapons in the game. Right there. So we are swapping up the club. It's gone. Has served us well. We killed one or two puppets with it. But we're going to the cleaver. Closer range. I actually do tend to miss a little bit more with it than other weapons, but it's got good stopping power. It's got decent resilience, and it's lighter. Like I could store it here if I found a gun option or something viable. I could store it here and use it from there. So it opens up another option that the club doesn't. That's a great find, and that's a great shape. And it can double for my knife should I need the inventory space for that. That would be a last resort for me because I don't want to waste the cleaver on knife activities. I'd rather save the cleaver for melee stuff, but definitely a great find. Haven't found anything in the way of bobby pins yet. Was hoping to maybe hit one or two of the police station lockers, but could potentially do the non-locker type stuff from there. Don't know if it's worth it. When the loot's low like this, you have to weigh risk versus reward a little bit more. A vanilla loot server, it's always worth going in there, right? You're always going to find something worth it. Here, there's a lot of risk involved, right? You could get hoarded by puppets, you could get an exploder. It's hard to say. It seems pretty random. So you could go through all that for absolutely no gain. All right, so those have more inventory, so we're switching. And we'll cut these up. Don't know if we'll get anything clean. See, and she's using the cleaver. That is one pet peeve I have with SCUM. You have to specifically tell it to use the knife. Even then, sometimes she'll swap to the cleaver. Oh, they're dirty. They're not dirty. They're not clean either, but we'll take the best. Well, I guess all three of them are. If we found soap, We could wash them. But when you're bleeding out, even that dirty rag's going to look pretty good. Painkillers, that's big. Let's see, breaking my own rule. Throw that out. Get the awareness for it. And that one. Alright, we didn't store off any food, right? Alright, so we're gonna eat the vitamins. They're not gonna do much of anything at all for us, but right, gotta go. May or may not be driving home. As in you don't know yet, or anyways, we will catch you when you get home and back to your schedule. Got if not before. Thanks for stopping by though, man. It was great talking to you again. Things have been pretty quiet around here. Human wise at least. Puppets have been plenty loud. So that yell there, you could confuse with a horde. It's different. It's totally different. But if you're in doubt, if you're like, was that the non-horde yell or the horde yell, and you're just not sure, get somewhere safe. Figure it out, because better safe than sorry. Oops. All right, let's see. This place loaded with groceries, or you looking good? Cutting board. No help. Glue. Can you eat glue? Just too bad. That's a nice shiny bottle. It's too bad you can't eat the glue. Oop. Nice try, man. Nice try. I just heard a single footstep. That's weird. I mean, it's soon going to be time to think about a raw chicken. But we're not there yet. Not quite. Smokes. So we do have a server quest, weapon of choice quest, where you get one weapon of your choice fully equipped. Cigarette packs are one of the items on it. This character will never get it. But we are going to have one. Because I'll bet you. Yeah, exhaustion. This will help with it. Oh, in fact, really quickly. Not that she's addicted or anything, mind you. Oops. So it's another one you can't get up on. So we'll leave it shut. Nails. Ooh. Bolts. Nails. Oofy. This is a choice right here. All right, shoes are gone. Because they just are. Shoe options are kind of interesting now. There is clothing. So there is the rag gloves. Actually, pretty easy to make. 2 rags, and they actually work really well. So if my gloves die, no big deal. We'll make some rag ones, and they kind of honestly look cool. Rag shoes, kind of the same thing. They don't last anywhere near as long as the rag gloves. But a really nice shoe option is, I'm not seeing it. Why am I not seeing it? Oh, right here. These improvised boots. So they do need leather, and you can't use puppet skin. And you do need a sewing kit, but they actually are pretty durable. They look awesome. And I've actually used them in several of our streams as admin provided gear. And they've actually held up. Like, things holding up in streams is tough. We're pretty tough on our characters during streams, so. Just double check this. It's very doubtful you can get up on this. Yeah. So you gotta be a little careful in and around the police stations. If you get too close, they will spawn a bunch of puppets, often a bunch of puppets. Sometimes you don't have to even get terribly close. Raise your rear bumper. All that said, we're going to push our luck a little bit because of these cars and garbage cans, because you never know. Plus, there's this garage right here. All this metal out of all these cars, very consistent, even on this server. And with that, you can make nails and bolts now at a machine shop. So it gives you, as long as you have a blunt object, it gives you the ability to almost always make a toolbox. I heard a puppet out there. Those garbages up there are really not worth it unless we're going to commit to doing the police station anyway. Which, since I haven't found anything to pick locks with, I don't think I'm gonna. Oops, that was, wow. Wow. You see how that she jumped and I waited and I shot where she was likely about to land. It's about the best way to handle those. You sometimes get fooled if they do a double jump. We got something over here. Short trousers. Oh, they do have a lot better inventory. So even though we're possibly sacrificing heat... Oh, what the hell? Ping is too high again. This is ridiculous. Anyway, even though we're possibly sacrificing heat by going to them short pants, I don't know that for sure, but I'm going to do it for the storage because it gives us one more spot immediately and potentially a second new spot if we get thread. Yep, he's coming. You'll notice when I hear a puppet coming, I get out of the buildings. It just tends to be safer. If they alert more and you get trapped in those buildings, it can be rough. Oh, where he went? Where'd he go? That's not creepy at all. Hello. Oh, hearts are going crazy over there in the chat. I'm not sure. Not sure what that means. Ah, crazy mom. Just returning crazy, or have you been here? Oh, no. Now we got decisions to make because that is not something I'm prepared to pass up. We're getting rid of one of those. And I guess... Boy, oh boy, oh boy. I guess we'll have one more smoke. I mean, I probably, honestly, should get rid of the bolts. But... yeah, we're now up to 5 screwdrivers. If we found bobby pins... This is a huge find, though. 99 or 90 of 100 use sharpening stone. I mean, that'll give us some longevity on the meat cleaver or anything else we might find. It's just it's a great find. And that would sell very well, but not going near a trader quite yet. Curious though, where's our awareness at? 65 through no skill, so it's not even really that high yet. Archery's 46 through basic, or through basic. So we're coming up on medium archery already in one session. Not sure how long we've been going, but about 3 hours, almost 3 hours. All right, so this one we can get up. Here's somebody probably behind this building. There is a vegetable patch out that way. Yeah. Finding rubber gloves now, that's for sure. Looked like he was trying to grab me as he died. Puppet Eye. It's another part of the weapon of choice quest. Items to be collecting if you're playing here and you have the storage. Details are in the Discord. You guys are kind of in the way of my vegetable patch. Potato would change the world for me right now. We need to get a fallback position near here because there's quite a few puppets between out back and out front there. So need to check the time because it is... Uh-oh. Anyway, it is starting to get dimmer. So I do need to check the time and start thinking about where I'm sleeping. Obviously, a roof is a viable option. other choices if you have a padlock or two. I still want to watch, but go to my bed. Well, I mean, oops. I will probably finish out. It's like another half hour till dark, I guess. So I'll probably finish that out. So can you watch from your bed? Might hurt. Eh, not bad. I would actually play later because actually enjoying it, but I do have to work tomorrow because work is not fun right now, and the potato might have just saved my life. Definitely do not want to be interrupted eating this potato, so we're gonna definitely go up on the roof. Even though there's nothing, I'm not hearing anything around or anything else. He's still, like, this potato is very important right now. So, just take the time to get on a roof. Like, if you look at this potato, I mean, the carbs it's going to give and the fats and all that, the energy, I mean, it's going to be good. It's actually got good water in it, too. So, we're going to down this sucker. Trying to think. Oh, that pig would taste good. There's a hunting tower out back there somewhere. That would be a decent place to spend the night. Slippers. Oh, rag option, but... Well, actually... Oh, what? Why did it take that out of my quick slot? That's a little odd. Yes, I can. I mean, that might mean you're the first person that's watched me from bed. I don't know. That's probably some kind of milestone, right? I hear you. Where are you? I see you, but where's your buddy? It's right over there somewhere. I don't see him, though. There he is. Oh. So why did I bail out there? Because I heard this other guy coming behind me, but I had no idea how far behind me. Based on how long it took it to get here, I probably had time to deal with this guy, but better safe than sorry. And let's say one of them called a horde, it would have been trickier, right? So when in doubt, run. Like if instinct is telling you to run, run. Get somewhere safe, regroup, think it through, and come back from a stronger position than a reactionary one, right? Yeah, creeping around out back here too. So, logout options. Takes 25 seconds to log out, so you can pretty much log out anywhere. Keep your finger over the cancel button. Be ready to cancel it and react if a puppet comes before you log out, right? Once that 25 seconds is gone and you log out, pretty good bet you're safe. The trick is when you log back in. So if you just log in or log out here on the street, perfectly could do, probably perfectly safe. When you log back in, you may be fine. You may have a good long time before puppets spawn. You may have just enough time to react and get out of the way before they spawn, or they might spawn instantly, and it might be a group of them, or it might be one that immediately calls a horde, and you'll be coming in with no idea what doors are open for you to use as an escape route, and you'll be in that just straight up reactionary situation, right? Instead of a situation where you've got an escape route, you've got a plan in your head if the puppets come, right? That the plan might get messed up. Who knows? But at least you've got one. All right, so I don't know about this. You can't eat it, I guess. You can't just eat it. So that kind of stinks. You do hear a chicken. Sounds like he's in town, though. Front of the police station somewhere, I think. He's off on the other side of that police station, I believe. At 6. Do hear puppets out back. So you notice I'm swapping out knives. Swapping them out based on their current durability. Don't really have a preference on knives. Bushman is my favorite. So if I have a Bushman, I'll keep it and sharpen it. The MK5000 is like my second favorite. Anything else? Take it or leave it. So all these little kitchen knivey things, I just go on durability until I find a knife I actually want, right? Gonna open that door yet because this guy might nail me when I do. It's right out there somewhere. Yep. Oh! Oh, bad position. Get out! Get out! Get out! I knew I shouldn't fight him in the doorway. I was telling myself I shouldn't fight him in the doorway. But I was also telling myself, hey, it'll probably be all right. He's got 3 shots or 2 shots in him already. Well, it wasn't all right. So now we need to go up here where it's safe and check ourselves. 2 bleeding ones, 2 C1s. We're fine. They're not dirty, nothing. We're good to go. So no harm, no foul. We're at 68%. We have to be a little more careful for a bit. But could have been worse. Could have been an infection. Could have been death. That was one of the medium puppets, right? He could have killed us. The damage here is purposely a bit lower than some other hardcore servers. The reason being, it sort of puts the whole destruction of clothes and possibility of infections and that sort of thing back in play a little bit, which with the higher damage levels, you tend to just die, which is fine. A death is a death, but you know, I think a cool part of the gameplay is that whole infection dynamic and having to keep up on your clothes. And, you know, the puppets beat the snot out of you and your clothes are all screwed up and you might even lose some of them. I think that's a cool aspect of the game that I didn't want to lose. We had the damage a lot higher here for a good long while. But I decided to try it with it down a little bit. It's still higher than most servers out there. It's probably higher than it's probably higher than 85-90% of them out there. So it's still cranked up pretty good, but it's not the highest out there. We're gonna definitely check these trees. Oh, and that right there is why. We're going to risk eating these on the ground because I can't really carry them without dropping stuff. Normally storing some food is a good idea to keep, but we are very low. Energy reserves are very low. Stomach is empty. So it makes sense to carry it in our stomach, so to speak, versus in a backpack. So at this point in the game right now, with our current nutritional situation, we're going to eat everything we see. Except canned peas, yes. There's actually very little less to this town. There's still a chicken. Guy was a little angered at us. Probably might have been the proprietor of this here establishment. Didn't want us in here mucking about, you know. Whoops. Didn't mean to start running around. Getting a bit hurried because I know nighttime's coming, so I have to keep reining myself in with that. Running is not going to help my food situation at all. And I think that's the mistake that a lot of people, especially newer players, make, because it is a little boring to walk around slow like this when you can very easily run. But the game really does take all that into account, so your food reserves will last a lot longer walking around fairly slowly and all. Oh. Must be we got enough to eat that she's got to pee. I shouldn't have done this here, actually. Don't get me wrong, I often do, but it's risky because you can't escape this. Like, you cannot get out of it. So if a puppet comes in, I'm stuck there. So I should have been safe and gone up on a roof and done that. Oh, this one you can get up on. See, same type of building, just something just subtly different about it. You can actually get up on this one. That way. He is likely to hear us. Oops. Hold that to the right or left, I mean. to say how far those arrows went. Yeah, probably too far to be worth it. Yeah. That's more than one. Oops, missed him. Looks like we've got a few police station puppets around. Don't know that it's the internal ones proper. Oop. Anyways, I don't know that the internal ones proper are spawned in, but oh. And oh. And nope. So we are going to eat this. See, the food's there, right? You're going to be hungry. You're going to need it constantly at first. But it's there. You just have to search everything and be methodical about it. And stick with it. Don't give up. And I've played this whole time, which was what, 3.5 hours ish. And I've been okay with food. Like, gotten a red a few times. We're still under 50%, but we're doing fine. Water's great. I haven't even been to a water source other than that one well. So it's all doable. I really want to dip into the police station, but I don't want to, I don't really want to waste the effort without anything to pick at least a locker or two with. Not that there's probably anything in there. I already searched this one. I haven't done a few here. I haven't done those. Might have time for a dart. it's like just this corner and those two down there. Might have even done that garage. I can't remember. Creepy the clown up here. Make sure I check those trees too. Can't remember if I did or not. Feel like I checked all these. Nope. All right. Hopefully nobody interrupts us. I might have been up here and done those. This guy looks so sad. I feel like I did this one. I mean, it's doing the circle thing like I didn't, but I'm thinking that's because I got logged out a couple times. Oh, on second thought, oh. So this is one of them rare occurrences where I'll trade a 94 durability for an 80 because it's a Bushman. And I think I will repair it. There we go. 100% Bushman. Glad I came in here. Didn't do that little building, I'm pretty sure. I'm pretty sure I didn't do that end house either. Skip that. Oopsie. See that? Got myself hurrying. Yeah, now they're in there having a party. Well, I mean, they're having a hell of a discussion about something in there, possibly me. Here they go. Silly puppets, man. That was all on me. I took off. I had myself scrolled out. I have a habit. When I'm crouched, I will, instead of hitting C to uncrouch, I'll just scroll the wheel forward and then back so I don't take off running. But I have this habit when I get, I guess, fatigued or whatever, where I will scroll it frontwards and then, like, not scroll it back or not scroll it back in time. And if there's a puppet around you and you're walking, often they won't hear you. But if you take off running, then they usually do. So that's what happened right back there. That puppet probably would have left me alone. But I took off running and it heard me. Saw me. One of the two. Just because I know I'm about to lose daylight and I got just a couple more houses. I think I did actually search this now that I think of it. Ooh. Get low on arrows again, too. Looks like something laying there. All right, those guys are not going to be thrilled about me going down there. Yep, sun's getting low. And that storm cloud's not helping. This is where it gets really tough to see them because they're dressed so neutral nowadays. Most of them. This guy right here, you can barely make him out. He's actually camoed. Pretty effective with him in that bush right there. All right, we're going to get down here. I know where we're going to stay. So our sneaking's got a little better already. When we first started, we wouldn't have been able to get by that guy, I don't think, without him alerting to us. So it doesn't take terribly long. And it can be done with no stealth, starting out with no stealth. You get doing things like the abandoned bunkers and whatnot, you are definitely going to want stealth. The more, the better. Oh, wow. Okay. Never seen that happen. Wow. I can always make these, but I cannot always make these. So that's coming with me. So we got 2 bladed weapons now that we're going to need them. So a logical place to stay is up here, which is what we're going to do. The issue with it, the only real issue with it, is if you spawn in next time you play and there's a bunch of puppets outside immediately and they detect you, they might run into that house and then you're kind of trapped up there with very little shooting options. Very few shooting options. And it can take time. You may have to wait you may have to wait for them to lose interest and start to walk away and then shoot a couple. And you might have to do that a few times before they're dispersed enough where you can get out of there. I don't think it happens excessively. I've stayed in an attic like that 2 or 3 times, I think, at my main, and I've never had a problem with it. In fact, I spent a night up in one where I was doing a bunch of crafting and stuff. So I had a fire up in there with me, and there was puppets walking around outside the whole time, and I didn't have an issue. So it's definitely viable. It's the safest place to log out. Could be a pain in the butt logging in, but you can. I mean, there are things. This isn't one of the nice ones that has a mattress, but you can, if you get all the puppets down there or whatever, you can jump out of these. It's not really going to hurt you. So you could jump out, run away, run to the next one. You may have to open a door and get out that way, but all in all, it's an acceptable thing, and it'll get a little cold overnight, but when you're logged out, it's not going to matter, right? So So let's kind of recap where we got to. So we played for a little over 3.5 hours. A slight interruption there for the stream to go down and go crazy, but one death fairly right off the bat due to absolute stupidity. 100% my fault. I can't blame anything in the game for that. I let my attention wander and it cost me. Since then, we did pretty good. We lived all this time. We are sitting with 96% energy reserves, 105 water reserves. So we're actually in great shape there. And that's all just foraging and finding food and stuff. So it's completely doable. And that was starting at zero awareness. So we ended up, we didn't do a whole lot of melee because I don't tend to be honest. I'm more of a bow player, but we did get a little bit there. We got 81% through basics, so we got almost a medium archery in one sitting. So archery goes up fast. It's great, and you'll notice the bow. I don't know if you remember when we first pulled it, but we're pulling a lot faster now. I mean, it's probably 200% faster than when we started, so it makes a big difference. Let's see. Constitution, not going to be much of a change there. A little bit to running, slight bit to endurance, but we really didn't do anything to work those. Dexterity, we've actually gone up a percentage point. Not a real one. We've gone up 0.06, but it rounds up. But that's gone up, and that's mostly because of how hungry we've been, right? Because when you're starving, your dexterity goes up. Don't know, but that's how it works. Stealth, we're at 41% through no skill, and that's just from that little bit of squat walking I did, right? So if I had been a little more, which I usually am, I usually do it a little bit more, and that would have been a little higher. But survival, we got the 49. That's for making our stuff, so not bad at all. Engineering didn't really make much effort, much progress. That's more like the base building type stuff, so didn't expect that to really go up. Medical stayed the same. Cooking somehow went up a little bit. I'm not sure why. I didn't even build a fire, so I don't know why that went up at all, but I guess it did. Camouflage, we got a little bit because we walked through a bush or something while squatted, probably. And awareness. I mean, awareness, we got to 82% through no skill, right? So 82% of the way to basic, right? And that's just from seeing stuff in the environment when we search the puppets, when we search the boxes and pull the stuff to the ground and whatnot. So that'll be basic in no time, and you'll actually hit medium in a halfway decent amount of time. And you will notice around medium, you will notice that you start finding more stuff. Like I'm already finding more stuff, but it will really help. And survival, yeah, that's already up there. So I mean, that's where we got to. Uh, Vitamins and stuff, actually, for scrounging for food and whatnot, we're doing great. Of course, I did find that box of vitamins and just down the whole thing, right? So that helped with balancing that out. But yeah, all in all, I wish I hadn't had a death, obviously, but I'll take it. Decent, decent start, really. Other than that, we are at 16th with 15 fame, so not bad in one setting. Um, yeah, that's I guess that's all there is to say. But hopefully this helps a little bit with people just starting out. Slow and steady wins the race every time. Uh, I probably will do at least one more with Calindra here. I'll leave her right here, and we'll pick up right here next time. Um, I don't know if that'll be like tomorrow night or sometime next week. It just depends on work and whatnot. So watch YouTube and Discord. I'll post it at least a couple hours ahead of time. But so that's coming. Sunday is our normal Scum Sunday stream. Like I mentioned, we'll be doing that from the Trainor's Trenches Scum server, and I believe Loreline will be with us. It sounds like Crazy Mom's planning to be there, and possibly God. I'm sure Ruben Wishy will be there. I don't know if the the admin staff from Trainors will be there or not. Uh, Phil and Phil, Lazzy and Trey. So we'll see how that goes. But that's going to be similar to this. It'll be a group start, right? And they're existing characters. They're not rerolls, so we'll have some stats behind us, but they'll be starting out with nothing, and we'll have to figure out where we're going and what we're doing. So that'll be kind of fun too. Different settings over there. We always have a great time over there. So yeah, looking forward to it. And I guess hopefully my stream doesn't screw up again. But yeah, everybody, thanks for watching. Please like, share, subscribe, spread the word. We will catch everybody next time, and let's stay safe out there. Take care.